Andrew Barnes, Barnes Precision. I'm out here on the range today with Hunter Elliott at rangehot.com, and we're doing a review on the Wesson Bruin in 10mm auto. Alright guys, Hunter Elliott here, rangehot.com. You'll recognize my cohort. Say hello to everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Wow, the enthusiasm is exuding from him. So we're here to talk about the Wesson Bruin. First thing I want to show you is there's no magazine. Gun's clear, safe to talk about. This Bruin pistol is available in 10mm auto, my personal favorite, as well as 45 automatic. You can also get it in, you see this is bi-tone. This is kind of a black slide with like a oil rub bronze receiver. You can also get it black on black, but the only way you can get it with the bronze receiver is in 10mm auto. So Rick, you got a few magazines through the pistol. I'm gonna let you lead into what are your thoughts?
I think it's great. I think it's easy to shoot, feels great in your hands. I love the sights, the Trijicon sights on there. Adjustable sights. It's what, 4 o'clock, 4:30?
Yeah.
Wintertime. I mean, we've got a low light situation. There was absolutely zero problem acquiring front and rear sights on target here. That thing is, it's nice.
It is a nice pistol. As Rick mentioned, it is factory adjustable Trijicon night sights. The front sight is also fiber optic. So in the day, that front sight is glowing as well as at night. You've got two different color. Front sight is green. The rear sight is kind of a yellow Trijicon, so you've actually got some color contrast within the night sights. They are adjustable for windage and elevation. Front here is dovetailed in. Let's just go over some of the features about the gun, some stuff I like, some stuff I didn't like, and then we're going to take it down to the receiver and look at the guts. So starting here from the rear, it does have a very aggressive upswept beaver tail with a palm swell. And as you know, that palm swell is there just to kind of help make sure you get a good steady purchase on the pistol to disengage that grip safety. It's got a standard metal checkered mainspring housing, and I say metal because I know there are some mainspring housings out there that are made out of nylon, which I've never had any trouble out of nylon. But at a price point of this gun, MSRP I think is right around $2,200. It's expensive. So let's go over some of the key features that would help it stand apart from maybe say some of your lesser expensive pistols. These are some custom type stocks. And they are held on with the Allen head threaded fastener, which I'm not a fan of. I'd rather see a slotted screw there. Not being so traditional, but I like to be able to detail strip my pistols without having to have any tools. To get these stocks off, you're definitely going to have Allen key, so
Small complaint, but justifiable.
You know, you got the magazine catch, which works well. It's heavily serrated, so you get pretty good traction with your thumb. Moving forward to the all steel trigger. Brakes at a very clean 4 pounds.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
That trigger is amazing.
It is. You've got this much take up. The sear brakes with, I mean, just a touch of over travel. Moving it forward to the muzzle, it does have forward cocking serrations, which I'm not a huge fan of. A couple reasons. They're not very traditional. And also, if they are aggressive enough and you carrying in a leather holster, these forward cocking serrations can tend to grind on your holster a little bit. This being a long slide, it does kind of help break up some of that, real estate here. So moving up, to the muzzle here, it does have kind of an odd cut right here on the recoil spring plug. And I don't like that at all. Reason being is, it is really tough to detail strip this without a bushing wrench. It does look good. It does also give you a little bit more of a sleeker design, a little bit more of a sleeker feel when you go to reholster. It kind of helps makes its way back into the holster.
You're a lot more technical than I would get into, but from just an average enthusiast, there's not much that I can complain about.
Okay.
But I will agree with the fasteners there. I would much rather go with the slotted fastener for the grips.
You've got something with an 8-round capacity, ships with 2 magazines, and I also ran it with just the Colt Delta Elite magazine. The gun ran 100% through damn near 400 rounds with various types of magazines without a misfeed or a failure. With this an additional, now this is a 6.3 inch barrel, so you've got it 1.3 inches over your 5-inch gun. depending on the round you're shooting, that's going to give you anywhere between 60 and 80 feet a second more velocity, light for light cartridge, out of a 5-inch gun. So you are increasing the lethality of that round by a little bit, but more importantly, you're getting these sights further apart, and so you're getting a longer sight radius, which makes you helps you be a little bit more precise when you're getting your sight alignment sight picture. And I don't want you to think I'm being too hard on the gun. I'm not trying to pick it apart. Nothing I have went over in my mind is a deal breaker, but at this price point, I'm gonna be very meticulous in my review. So with the barrel bushing, you really do need to use the supplied wrench because of the cut on the recoil spring plug. As you can see here, it's kind of nasty, but it is a fully ramped 10mm match grade barrel. Here's a nice touch, reduced radius firing pin stop. So for those who notice, there is no firing pin safety in this pistol. Plunger spring does not have a kink in it, so when you take the thumb safety off, you got to be really careful to keep a hold of this because it will come flying out of the plunger tube. All right, so now that I've got it taken all apart, let's take a close look at these radial locking lugs on the barrel. They look to be in good shape. The edges are really crisp. There's no peening or they're not bent over. Same with the inside of the slide. That lets me know that the barrel and slide was fit correctly and it's not beating itself up. Especially, like I said, close to 400 rounds of 10mm, most of which was warm tin. If there was a problem, I think it would have shown up by now. Barrel bushing was well fit. Sear looks pretty good. There's no chips or breaks on the sear. Hammer hooks look good, and you can see this has got a true half-cock notch. Got an all-steel GI length guide rod. Trigger adjustable for over travel. So something that needs to be brought up about Dan Wesson, they are expensive. But while I've got this gun tore apart, I'm going to touch on a couple of the reasons why they are so expensive. There's a lot of little fine details that you'll need to notice, such as on the rear side, you can see just below the Trijicon vials, it is also serrated. And what that does is, that helps keep glare off of the face of the rear sight when you're trying to acquire sight alignment sight picture, as well as the serrations that run down the length between the front and rear. So when you're getting your sight alignment sight picture, that cuts down the glare between the sights. That'll cut off any glare on your rear sight. Little touches like that. All these parts, there is no MIM in the Dan Wesson pistol. So there's a lot to be said about that too. I mean, if MIM is done right, MIM is okay in certain aspects of the gun, but leaving MIM out and using, steel parts, real steel parts that are machined, definitely a better way to go to build a more durable gun, but it also makes manufacturing the firearm a lot more expensive. So that's something to keep in mind. One of the reasons it is so expensive is because it's using really good, high-quality parts that are hand-fit.
Buy once, cry once.
Buy once, cry once.
It's just one of those things where, I mean, if you know you're buying a quality product, quality parts, fit well, shoots well, and you know it's going to last, and it's kind of the firearms industry you're going to have to pay.
I would see this pistol serving several functions from, home and self-defense, concealed carry, maybe not so much. I did carry this gun for a couple months, and it will conceal if you dress around it, but handgun hunting is becoming very popular. And the 10mm auto, in an auto-loading cartridge is an excellent choice for handgun hunting. I mean, you're exceeding 357 Magnum energy, but instead of being limited to 5 or 6 rounds, you've got 8+1, and you've got the speed of reload. So a lot of states mandate that your handgun have at least a 6-inch barrel to be able to hunt with. This would also make an excellent either a sidearm for hunting, or if you were handgun hunting. Great, it cycled the light stuff as well as the heavy stuff. With this ramp barrel, you do have the benefit of increased case head support. So when you do run some of the hotter tin, it really cuts down on you having any kind of case bulging issues.
Yeah, grip is definitely not an issue on this. The ergonomics, everything about it feels great. I mean, it feels almost custom to me.
It is. This is really blurring the line between production and custom gun, I mean, this is certainly a step in the direction of a custom gun as far as quality of material, fit, and finish, you know. So all in all, couple little things I mentioned, no big deal, but you know, all in all, I'm very well satisfied with how the gun run. It was extremely accurate through a cross section of ball, lead, and jacket hollow points. If you're curious about all the specifics of the ammunition we shot, as well as the groups in inches, there will be a chart on rangehot.com in the written article, as well as a lot more of the technical specifications. So Rick, always your famous line is, do you feel for the money it's worth it?
Yes, I feel if that's the budget and the market that you're in, it's definitely a great choice to go with, for sure.
I agree. I agree. I mean, there's a lot of little things that come together to make this gun outstanding. All right, guys. Well, look, I really appreciate you watching the video, reading the articles. As always, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest. You know, we do the gamut of social media to try to get the word out there. So if you've got any questions, comments, something you like, something you didn't like, something I forgot, you know, let me know. I love feedback, good and bad. Take care of yourself, guys. Look after yourself and each other, and I look forward to seeing you on the range.